This is Valerie Wallace Fine Arts, and I'm here in my living room having a 1 o'clock free drawing class today because we were out of power for the second day here in Maine because we got a ridiculously heavy wet snowstorm and it knocked down all the limbs and knocked down all the power lines. But we are doing fine anyway. This is as close as off the grid as I want to get. And maybe you can hear, but my husband got his hands on a generator. Thank you, Scotty O. And so, we really don't have much to complain about. Okay, and we also have a wood stove. All right, we're going to draw the queen today. And the queen has a very symmetrical face, meaning that everything is pretty much the same on either side. I think they've even made her eyebrows exactly the same, and that makes you, and a lot of times one of them's different. This is a painting by Jirka Vaatainen. I have absolutely no idea how to say his name, but he has done all these Disney characters, painted them, and they're just amazing. They're fantastic, and so we're going to go with that one today. Normally when I do a face, I like to kind of start with a U shape and kind of work from the mouth up, because I've sort of defined the chin, and we're going to go from there. Because of the crown, or if there's a hat or something, I do it the opposite way. Okay? I'm going to use a gold to do my basic planning of the picture. Pick whatever you want, but I would suggest something light because we're going to, you want something light that you can correct, and ultimately when we get in there with the black and everything, you'll be able to color over anything that you didn't like. And I'm also going to use a charcoal and do a charcoal drawing as well down here, so you can, if you're working in pencil, you have that. And have your eraser handy if you need it. But don't get too caught up in erasing in the beginning. The idea is to kind of sketch a little bit, and then later on you can sort of refine things. But don't worry about it right from the very get-go. Or if you do, then you'll have to just watch this at another time because we're going to go too fast for that. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Her crown is sitting on here pretty horizontally. If you wanted to curve it a little bit, you could. I guess I was doing that, but maybe I'm not going to bother. Okay. I need to have room for this peaky part here, so I need a nice section up here. I'm going to start by making a line about this long, okay? I'm going to make it nice and dark, but I want you to make yours as lightly as you can. Is that horizontal?
Yeah.
You're going to have to give me a little... tell me where I'm going. Okay, now what I'm going to do is there's this thick bar. So, depending, if you look and think, I'm a little too close to the top, then make the line on the bottom. But if you're like, I have plenty of room for my nice big triangle, then make it on top. Okay? I think I will... No.
It's okay. I'm already done.
I keep forgetting to turn off my phone. Okay. Alright, so I have a nice bar like that. If you need it to be bigger, add on. Okay, it's going to be colored in yellow in the end anyway. Always fix a mistake. Don't just say, I didn't do that part right, I wish I had. Just fix it, okay? Down here, we're going to do the same thing.
Don't talk to him in here. I said, don't talk to him in here.
Well, let's have a conversation with Calvin while we're doing drawing class.
I'm going to ask him what he wants.
Okay. Yeah, I have... my husband Timmy here working with me today, and my daughter Daphne, because we're cohabitating.
Yes.
What are we calling that? Sheltering in place. Okay. I'm not going to have a super tall one here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a nice triangle on the top. So find a spot right in the middle, close to the top as you can get. Make yourself a nice tall triangle. You can make your crown as fancy as you want, but I'm basically just going to put little points on it. Oh my God. Is he special? Okay. Take...
I just wanted to say I was probably going to stop at Hannah's
He's borrowing his sister's car, so he uses to fill us in. Okay? When you do this, what you're going to do is not do the whole triangle. You're just going to do half of it, because we're thinking that it's on the side and it kind of curves. So you just do half like this. And this one would be a little short. These two on the outside would be a little bit shorter than the one in the middle. And that will help with perspective and also just makes that bigger, the middle piece more important. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. Well, this will kind of warm us up. Alright, if you didn't get that, start with a 1 in the middle. Okay? And then on the side, make it start with a straight line, and just make them a little bit shorter than the one you did in the middle, okay? And then just do sort of, it's not really half a triangle because a triangle is a triangle no matter what it looks like. And then another, like, I guess it's the shape. I guess we're making a right triangle on the sides.
Yes.
There. Can you see the top? Can you see the
Yeah, it
little
looks
one?
good.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So like I said, instead of getting, some of you won't have any trouble just kind of eyeing up about where, I mean, because it doesn't have to look like this. We just want to make sure all the features fit in there. Some of you won't have any trouble with that. You can just go ahead and do it the way that you want to. But some of you might have a little trouble if I just say, here, we'll put it about like this. So I want to help those people, okay? We're going to draw about where her edge of her, like her temple is, okay? And that is just a hair inside, if I draw straight up, it's just inside of the crown, okay? We're going to add that black on there later. So I want you to start here, and I want you to bring a line down like this, and a line down like this. Did I make them nice and dark? And this line, from her, let me think, what was it? From the end of her, from the bottom of her crown to the tip of her nose is about the same distance as from the bottom of the crown to the tip of the triangle. So I want you to measure from here to here, and then I want you to go down like this, and I want you to measure here, and I don't want you to make it big, but I want you to give just a little mark. Can you see that at all?
Yep.
A little mark. That'll tell you where her nose is going to be, okay? It may adjust it. That's why I don't want you to do too much. But that will help if you need to be a little more particular about how you do it. This one is shorter. Well, all right, so I'm going to bring these down. I mean, that's kind of weird to like base the shape of the proportions off the size of her crown, because what if you make a super short crown? So, don't be too, okay, this is the other important thing, okay? From the top of your head to the bottom of your chin, your eyes are in the middle, okay? You have to think about the top of your head. You have to remember that you have a forehead that you can put your 4 fingers on. And
or maybe 5.
4.
You got a big head.
Get your thumb out of the way. Whatever. But you don't have 2. If you only had 2, you would look like you had a low criminal forehead, right? Because what it is that you have a little face, but you have all of this brain, okay? So you need to have, and if you don't draw somebody with a nice, bit of head up here, then they're going to look not so intelligent, okay?
But the top of her head is in the bottom of a crown.
No. If you didn't notice, see this black part here? That's where the top of her head is. So before we go any further, what I want you to do is I want you to mark up in there. You have to sort of think rounded, but don't get overthinking it. But you definitely need to know that this is where the top of her head is, okay? And so that means that from that spot, from the top of her head, well, we haven't done the eyes yet. Well, that's what her eyes are going to be in the middle. All right. This is kind of crazy. So far, so good, though? Looks like the king in a deck of cards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I want to put this little, what do you call this? Apparel design student? This thing on her head.
Widow's Peak.
Oh, it is like a widow's peak, but I mean, I don't know why I say. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right in the middle here, just below the crown, as close as you can get to it. Don't waste a whole bunch of her forehead drawing this thing. And you're gonna make a rainbow that goes over the side like this. Okay, and a rainbow that goes over the side like that. All right. The rest of it, the black, is gonna go on the outside, so you don't need to really account for that right now, or we'll run out of room for her eyes, and she has huge eyes. Okay, so down here, I'm going to find the spot in the middle, and I'm going to round it out and round it over like this. But these aren't her eyebrows, okay? One of the things about doing the face is noticing, we're going to mark her eyes, is how close they are here. The bridge of your nose is pretty small. Sometimes, you get them too close, but a lot of times people put them way too far away and too small. And we want to give her huge eyes, okay? the upper part of her eye, not her eyelid, but this one is pretty flat. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine she has a little bit of forehead, and I want you to come down here, and I want you to make me a line that maybe has a little bit of a curve to it, but if not, you can just a straight line. And they're not going to be too far apart, okay? All right, so down here too, you need a little bit of forehead. We try to remember that those things aren't eyebrows, so you need to drop down a little bit. Okay, oops, this is a little bit off. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to round the lower part of her eye, like this, nice and big, okay? A lot of times it's the other way around. It's that your the upper part of your eye is really round and the lower part is flat. I think mine are like that, are they?
Well, more than hers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually like that, but in her case, that's not how it is, so we're not doing that. So and the other thing she has is this great eyelid, and that's how she has that looking down her nose, I'm going to kill you look on about her face, is that she's got, her lids are covering. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to give it a nice big eyelid on here. Okay, because she doesn't have a real obvious, you think she's not really having an expression, but she is totally having an expression. It's just sort of a subtle, I'm about to kill you expression, rather than like, I'm laughing hysterically or something. Okay? When we do her eyes, in this case, most of the time I have you have little like kind of rectangles sitting and being held in there by the skin of your eye. But in her case, she's almost showing a little white underneath. So if you have enough room, you're going to make a half circle like this. But don't, nice and big. Don't make just a little, don't do this. I'll do it down here. This is not how her eyes look. Okay? And it's not even this, okay? That's not right. It has to be a big thing. Even though you can see the white of her eye, you're seeing, not a ton, okay? And she has all this like eyeliner around her eye so that if you need to, you can always get rid of a little white by coloring into it, or if you need to, you can kind of cheat that to the outside. Depends which works. Okay, so this is the part. I don't know, I guess I was wrong about this whole nose thing, so hopefully that doesn't mess you up too much. But I'm going to measure.
Mine was a little high.
Yeah, mine's high too. I don't know. I guess that was dumb.
We make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just a picture. We'll cover it up. Don't worry about it. All right, from the top of her head to her eyes. See how I measured that? Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep my fingers the same way, and I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to put my pointer here and my thumb here, and that's where the chin's going to go. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now she looks really funny. So same thing here. No matter, this is always the case. All right? Here. Here's my chin down here. Okay? Now her chin is a little squared at the bottom, so I can maybe bring that over a little bit. And then she's not pointed. She just starts from about the nose area. So I can bring these lines down. Then she starts to come in symmetrically on both sides if you can do it. Okay? Is that relatively symmetrical? I can't tell.
Yeah, it looks pretty
good. All right, so I'll take this line down here. I'll stretch it out maybe an inch or so. Try to get it in the middle of her face. If you have to, hold your piece of paper up in front of you, and then you'll see if something's a little sideways wacky. All right?
All right.
All right, and then for this, I'm going to bring her down a little bit more. All right, and then bring this in on both sides. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, this is like normally how we would do it, but we'll put the nose wherever we like, where it needs to go. But I'm going to have you look at the mouth with the chin, okay? So she has, it's almost a little circle right down here is where this chin is. And what we're going to do is we're going to mark the line that's between the upper lip and the lower lip, okay? And normally it runs about the corner of her mouth, which is usually a little bit of a line just beyond your lips, not necessarily you bring your lip all the way to that corner. That can a lot of times give you really, really big lips, like almost clown lips. But sometimes it's like that. But hers is just this little bit that goes beyond. And normally it lines up right with the middle of her eye, which this is a little bit shy of that. So she has a little bit more of a condensed but very thick mouth. Okay? So I'm going to look at the bottom. I look at her chin. I'm going to go up a little bit, and I'm going to draw the line that's in the middle of her, between her two lips. I'm going to make it short, a line like this, and I'm going to curl it up just a teensy weensy bit at each side. So now she looks really nice, right?
Right.
Okay. Here, same thing here. This is a little low on hers.
Yeah. She's gonna have a long nose. Just make that the bottom of
I'm
the
going to
lip.
make it the bottom lip, so we'll have to make another correction. Okay, let's go ahead and do the mouth now, and I'll fix it. Okay. She has this wide V shape. If you make it really, it won't matter as much on this. It only matters more when we're doing when we're doing guys. But what you're looking for is a very wide V like that. Okay? And then you're going to bring that down here and bring that down here like this.
For the middle.
Okay?
No, that's
Now her lower lip looks a lot like a rectangle. So she's going to have a line like this and bring that up on both sides. Okay? So on this one where I made this too low, I'm going to make the midline here. It's going to be a little different look. Okay? Okay, now to do her, it's still pretty, that's actually pretty close on this one. This is going to work for me anyway. Okay, so we're going to mark where her nostrils are, which aren't little balls. They're a little more like a corn kernel, but they're close together and they're kind of small. Better too small than great big gaping holes in your nose, right? Because sometimes it's very fascinating and like it makes a very intriguing face, but it's not what this queen has. She's little nostrils. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do is, and they're pretty much like right above the peaks of her lip. Be thinking about that. That might be how far apart they are. And you're going to make these little ovals, and what you're going to do is connect them with like a little smile. Okay, this isn't exactly how her nose works, but this will work for us. Okay, so I made the little corn kernels, and then I'm going to make a little thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, goes a little bit different with hers, but this will work. Okay, and then on the outside, you're doing that little ring on the outside. So here, it's going to come out, and it goes just a little below. So it's out. Maybe I need to stretch those that way a little bit. Okay, looks a little funny. Oh well. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing we need before we forget is she needs to have a neck. Okay? And that should be, you know, out near the side of her face. All right? Not a little stick underneath her chin. Okay? She has power and presence. She needs a serious neck. Okay? Her nose, we're going to bring that up on this left side here, and it's going to go right up like this. This is where her eyebrow is going to go, but I think I'll add it later because it's going to be a line we're at the end. All right, but you want to bring that right up, whoop, like that. Okay, so she has this collar, and I want you to notice that the collar, I don't know if you can see, but it comes from way up by the side of her face, okay? So you want to bring a line that's like up here and not here. She has kind of this shape here. So this collar comes and it makes a little sliver right here. It's not that big of a deal, but all right. The thing is that she needs to have shoulders. If it makes sense to where your how much room you have, she's gonna have a little shoulder that comes out here, Okay. All right. So I'll do that again up here. It comes.
Yours looks good, Dad.
It comes out of your
A little bit
face
of a dog
here.
nose.
Yeah, a little
Out
bit.
of her face, I mean. And this comes down like this. And then this comes right in there close like that. Alright. Oh. Don't forget the shoulders. And bring them to the side of the paper. Don't bring them down. She's got some shoulder. I need to
Standing
stand
up
there.
straight.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's color. Let's shade. Whatever has to be done. We're going to leave the black stuff till the end. I'm going to put a little bit of green on her eyes. This is going to mix a little bit with the yellow that I have there, but I'm going to go with that. And that's what I want. Okay?
Yours is more.
Because this green is pretty kind of unnatural. I am trying on both my black one and the color one to leave a little of this white in her eyes because it's going to be part of making them look very dramatic. We'll see how it goes. Okay? I'm going to take a darker brownish color to do the shading for the color one. Okay? Actually, maybe I am going to have to draw. Well, no, maybe not. I want to bring a little of that right down the side of her nose here. So that yellow line, that gold line I had, I'm going to go over that. I'm going to bring a little of it right along the bottom of her nose here. Okay, maybe I'll decide where I like those nostrils, put a little mark there. Okay. Underneath her chin, you're going to go right to where her lip is, and you're going to make kind of like a backwards C shape like this. Try not to do this too dark. Okay. And then you're going to color right along the side here. All right. And it's going to keep going right up the side of her face like that. Okay.
Good.
So a continuous, a little kind of stripe that runs down the side here. Try not to go too dark because we're going to blend into it with a lighter skin tone. Excuse me. But you know, it would blend better if you don't put too much on. All right. So we're also, I want to go over. I'm going to just make her eyelids a little of this brownish color. Right above like that. I'm going to do the bottom, I think, with black, so I'm not going to go over that. Okay? It's going to look kind of like that. Don't worry about her neck. Normally we have to do the neck, we have to do the ears, but she doesn't have ears because they're covered up with this thing. What is this thing called?
It's a hood.
Oh, yeah. Why is that so hard for me to think of?
I don't know. It's just because it's a
I don't
tight
know
hood.
why. I do
I
really
like
it,
it though.
but
I
bet
think I
it's,
might need one.
yeah, but I bet it's not super comfortable. You probably want to have short hair.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Or maybe just a hole in the back for the ponytail.
Yeah. Okay. So just for people that I've seen have a little trouble with this in the past is that you want sort of a continuous flow from this little C around her lip right up the side of her face. It's not all in little pieces. So make sure it starts right up here at the hood and goes right down the side of the face. And then you want a little bit on this side of the nose, maybe a little underneath. She's got a little shading here too. And then with the black one, I'll just take that shadow and I'm just going to blend that into the side of her face and around her eyes, hopefully not to get too much spread in there. A little bit above the eyes here. And that's going to make it look like she's got little dark eye sockets, okay? And on this side, I'll just blend just a little bit so that, she doesn't have white skin, but it makes the eyes show up better. I'm going to have to blur these a little bit too. We'll hit those again with a dark, okay? On the color one, I'm going to take this color And I'm going to color over the brown and then into the rest of her skin. All right. If you want to go with someone with a little, you know, deeper shade of skin tone or whatever, the brown should still work. Just use a little bit different shade, a golder shade or whatever you want. Or if you want purple skin, make it purple skin. Just you want to have a little dark purple and a little light purple. But it's all good, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you getting to this point and you're okay, it's only going to get better because we're going to add all these black things and the red lips and all the eyes and all that stuff, and everything's going to get even better. So if you can, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Right, Tim?
Yes.
That'll get better. That's just nice.
Okay. And the face may seem a little on the slim side for the size of the eyes, but it's going to get bigger. Okay. If you're right up with me, the other thing you might find is there's places on the face where they're usually a little lighter. So she could have a little white on the top of her nose, right in the height of her cheekbones. Okay, right even on the shady side here, usually right in the middle of her forehead. You call that, what, like the T-zone? If you're putting makeup on or whatever. And right here on the chin. These are all the parts that kind of stick out. Okay, on her face down here, I could take my eraser and erase those places a little bit. So I'll erase a little bit of the middle of her nose. Okay, right here. I know for some people this goes a little fast, but just, you know, don't feel like you have to keep up. Just watch it later on YouTube or on my Facebook page, and just push the little pause button. If you're not sure what that means, it's like an equal sign that goes up and down, and you push on that, and it will turn into a triangle. And then when you're ready to go again, you push the triangle. Triangle means go.
I think my girl has a broken nose, just a little bit off to the right.
Maybe she got punched.
Yeah,
Maybe she got punched by the
evil
huntsman.
queen, yeah.
Because he was like, "Hey man, you're a bad woman, and I'm gonna punch you for trying to kill that beautiful Snow White." Is this the one from Snow White?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ready for you to pull her together? Okay, let's do the mouth. So this is the most important part, and this works when you're sketching people all the time, no matter what, is that you want the upper lip dark and the lower lip light. Okay? And it is a great way to have them, I don't know, just seem more three-dimensional. Okay? So I'm going to not leave these yellow lines. I don't want to leave it outlined in yellow. I'm going to go right over that. Yellow and red go together. They make nice orangey, warm. So I'm going to color in her upper lip. Okay, like this. And then I'm going to take, I guess I'll take light pink. Let's see how that works. And I'm going to maybe put a little on there. Maybe I'll put a little red on there too. Let's see. If it doesn't look lighter, take your white and use that. Okay, but you definitely just want it to be lighter. On the if it's charcoal or you're using a pencil, just color in the upper lip and then just smudge the lower lip and it'll work great. Like that. Okay, and then I'll take that little black and I'll smudge that on there. And then what you have, because you have the shadow, that C, you want that that we drew for the shading, you want that to be right underneath her lip, because your lip kind of hangs out and there's a little shadow right underneath there. Sometimes, your lip has no color at all. It's just that underneath shadow that makes it show up. So I might even put a little highlight on this. Make it even lighter. I can make, this will maybe a little heavy, but okay. All right. Okay, so let's color. Yeah, we're gonna do the black before we do the crown. So let's do the black, right? The black, then the crown. The only other thing you have is where's the gray? This collar piece. I might put a little gray kind of out like this. And that, if I go to sort of leave a kind of little rectangle there, maybe go over this too. It'll maybe look like it folds over, but all right. So get yourself a black, or get your nice sharp pointy pencil. We're gonna put the black parts in here. Okay. We'll start with the eye. Okay, and the eyebrows and stuff like that. So she has, you know, a relatively small pupil in here. It's up near the eyelid, so get it up near the upper part of her eye. And then I want you to go over the eye with that. Do a part of one eye, like say what I'm doing here, the lid. Do it on one, do it on the other. Don't do one whole eye with right down the eyelashes, a highlight, and then go to do the other eye. I don't know how you would possibly get them to come out the same way. It's just, I don't know how it can be done. So do one, do something on one, do it on the other one. That'll help keep it symmetrical. And you want symmetrical eyes, unless you're doing like a little wizened troll or something. As much as you can. Although everybody's eyes are a little bit different. But okay. Then I'm gonna go underneath. Okay, and if you have to make it a little small, you can, but I don't know why you would. And you can kind of add a little extra black here, because she has all that. Or you could use a brown or something if you wanted to, but we're looking for this very dramatic looking face, so the black is great. You can do that eyelid crease if you want. Okay. She's got quite a bit of black on there too, so I could add a little. Very, very dramatic. Okay, actually this is too much in there. Okay. So a little extra on the lower lids. Okay. So normally with your eyebrows, like one is usually a little pointy and one is a little flat, but she has two mean eyebrows. Okay. So what happens is you start at the nose and you go up, and then kind of round like 2/3 of the way, and then just kind of round them down the ends. They don't just keep going up. That would be a little bit weird. But they go up just beyond, and then they just a little tilt here. So it starts pretty close to where the crease of her eyebrow is. Although, I don't know. Maybe she's got them a little bit raised. So I'm going to go up like this. And then just as I get to the end, I'm going to bring that down. Because she's beautiful and yet evil. The fine line. Okay. The other thing I want to do, is this good? Am I going too fast? No, we got to get done. Okay.
Okay.
Is this line between her two lips, which turns out to be one of the darkest places, like on your face. So you're going to make that line nice and dark too. Okay. If I want to mark her nostrils a little bit, I could do that. All right. This one I've got, but you want to make sure that's there. Okay. Color in this part on her forehead, because I want to do that part that goes down the side of her face. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll get this other one so you can see. Ooh, I see some very nice queens. I love it when people show me their pictures. If you don't want me to share it, just say I don't want you to share it. Although I bet it's really good and people would like to see it. But if you don't, that's okay. But I still would like to see it. If you would like to make a donation, you can go to ValerieWallaceFineArts.com, and there's a ticket page, and there's a place you can leave a donation for as little as $1. Okay, so right around the bottom of her chin, we're just going to go on the outside of her flesh here, okay? And we just are gonna turn that right into her neck, okay? But out from above her mouth out, things get a little bit thicker. So you can start at the outside of the crown and just bring a straight line down, okay? And then just kind of bring it into the side when it gets down about nose level, okay? Oh, Maleficent. That's the one from Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, with the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we looked at that one too. Okay. I wanted to have more black on her eyes. Right in the The darker you are, kind of like right where your eyes meet your nose, that's usually a pretty good spot to get things pretty dark too. Yeah, and then also get this little piece, these little pieces up here. Okay. I'll finish with this black here and then do the one down below. Well, another hour. I mean, not hour, but. Okay. How are you guys doing?
Good. This is my favorite one so far.
This is Daphne's favorite one. Who's watching?
Oh, Grammy's watching. Grammy Barbara. I mean, I know Melba was logged in.
Grammy Barbara's watching?
Says
Is she?
Barbara Murphy is watching. She might not be on still. I don't know.
You mean she just got bored and turned it off? Is that what
Well,
you're
no,
trying to say?
I just don't know. I don't know. So it says when they're watching. That's what I say when they stop.
That's my mother-in-law. I want to see her pictures.
I'm thinking.
She can draw. She draws cute little birds and stuff.
Little flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no one around here is outside playing in the sun and fresh air. That's for sure. Oh, look it. She said, all right, so I didn't do her eyebrows either. So I'm a little off on this one. I have a lot more forehead. So I'll just bring this, make sure I get that kind of in the middle, and I'm just going to add, just bring that down a little bit. I can see that. All right, she needs her eyebrows too. So if you've missed the eyebrow thing, start at the nose and go right up until you're almost to the end of the, to the back end of the eye or close to the temple, and then just round it down. Okay, but bring them up. Gotta have eyebrows. You think you don't need them, but you do. Very, very, very important to making a face. Okay. Alright. Oh, I'm coloring the wrong part.
That's okay.
It is okay. Thanks, Tab. Thanks for being so understanding. We all have to be very kind and patient, don't we?
Yeah.
If it takes some wine to do such,
maybe a while.
or whatever, that's okay too. Maybe it takes ice cream.
That's a good
okay
idea.
too. Whatever it takes. Sometimes you have to yell a little bit. That's okay too. But maybe you say you're sorry.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's the Val approach. Maybe you say you're sorry.
But only if you
But
really.
you probably won't.
Only if you really are. Which is part of my thing. Is like sometimes they're just not. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry when I'm not sorry.
You might not even say it when you are.
That's true too. I'm not big on it. I'm working at it though. I'm better than I used to be.
Yeah.
I'm not great at it though. It's not my forte.
No, that's me and Dad.
I have other talents.
That is true.
All right. Because I flubbed a little here, so I'm gonna take my little eraser. But I think that looks good anyway. It makes it look a little shady over here on her
Yeah, I like her.
wild collar. Okay. Oops, I forgot.
Ruby thought that was funny.
That little interchange.
That little
Exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you people in my family say.
No.
Don't worry about it. I don't care. Okay. Oops. Oh. There's a lot to do here.
Yeah, no, she's calling for a lot of coloring. Miss Queen.
But faces are fun.
Yeah, I'm shaking the
It doesn't have to look just like this. Trust me, we know what it is, right? You know? Couple of eyes, couple of dots in the middle of the face. You don't want to not make a nose, but you don't really need to go crazy about it. Okay. So with the crown down here, I'm just going to kind of take the black that's in that hood on her forehead, and I'm going to smudge that into the crown a little bit. It's a lot of times if you're doing some, shadings in charcoal, it's hard to color the face just right. So one of the things I like to do is find something I'm going to color in, like maybe the shirt or the hair, and I color them in a lot, and then I use that black on my finger to kind of draw in the shades on her face rather than coloring it in, because it takes a little practice to get so you can color that doesn't look like hair all over somebody's face. And she does not have hair on her. I mean, not like a lot of hair. She's probably a little bit of hair.
A little peach fuzz
that
on the
happens
stash.
to everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna highlight it a little bit right here in the middle. Maybe this piece right here, and it has a little stripe in it. The crown's important, right?
Yeah. You gotta color your yellow crown in.
Yep. Gold. The gold crown. She's got serious lip and a teeny weeny nose. She could probably barely breathe out of that nose. It's so small. I don't have a small nose like that. I have my dad's nose.
It's not in the fam.
Yeah, Ruby and Veronica have their Grammy Jean's little teeny tiny cute nose.
They do have a cute nose.
Yeah. What does Calvin have?
Dad's nose. Me and
Does
Calvin
he?
both have dad's nose.
No, you don't. You have
Yeah,
you do,
I
but
do.
it's mini
Yeah,
size.
I know. I still have dad's
But
nose.
Calvin doesn't.
I think he does.
You don't know.
You're so
I don't know what he
rude to me.
has though.
Well, wow. Well, whose does he have then? Yeah, he's got. I think it's like that.
I'm putting a little yellow on my crown and make it super shiny. Okay, we're gonna be done, so we can go.
Pick sticks.
I don't know, pick up sticks and drag them through the snow.
I don't want to do
Yes. Dawn and Christina, if you're out there, stay where you are. There's nothing to come home to but a mess.
That's true.
So far, anyway.
It's gonna get better.
It's gonna get better. Yep. As long as I keep my toilet, I can do anything. Are we good? On that note,
Yeah,
oh wait a minute,
zoom
let me.
in.
Yep. Thank you very much for following along with me, and I will see you tomorrow. We're gonna do. Oh, hang on to it a second.
I'll just zoom
This is tomorrow because I already did bunnies twice
in. Lovely flowers.
for Easter.
Some charcoal.
All right. Yeah, I hold it on that one for a minute, and that's it. All right. Thank you.
Bye.